welcome to Daily for Thursday, September 8th. It's currently 17 or maybe 18 degrees out right now. Feels like 17 or 18. Fall is here, but not winter, so that's good. But this is not a weather podcast. This episode of Daily is brought to you by FeedPress. FeedPress is analytics and podcast hosting made for bloggers and podcasters, possibly like you. It's got a simple, intuitive, and powerful RSS analytics and podcast hosting platform that you can use to put out podcasts such as this. This one you're listening to is fed to you by FeedPress. It's got they've got 400 megabytes of flexible file storage that rolls over each month, so you can easily upload 4 episodes per month. And you can upgrade your storage easily and affordably at $20 for 1 gigabyte. So visit feed.press/dailyish today, and you can try them out for 14 days, no contracts or commitments. And you can use promo code dailyish during checkout to get 10% off your first year of service with them. My thanks to FeedPress for sponsoring this episode of Dailyish and goodstuff.fm. And also brought to you by Patreon supporters such as yourself. Patreon.com/iChris is where you can check out how you can support the podcasting efforts I do here a little more directly with $1 or $2 or 10 or 20 or 30 or 40 a month. And the video version of this episode will be going out to the Patreon folks. Again, knock on something, wood. This probably isn't really wood, this desk. Anyways, that it works. So patreon.com/iChris is where you can see how you can join up with that. Everybody gets the video version. Everybody gets kind of everything-ish for now. There isn't really, there's tiers, but yeah, I don't have a great system set up for like if you donate more or less or whatever. But yeah, join in the fun there. There's a stuffy Slack you get to join in. Our Slack group for people who are supporters of any of the shows on goodstuff.fm get access to, where you can talk about nerdy things like the Apple event yesterday, or like choices of home decorating items, or I'm trying to think of what other channels. There's a whole bunch of channels where people talk about things that they like. So you get access to that, plus the Stuffy Slack Minecraft server, which I haven't been on lately. I was on a little bit a couple weeks ago, and is crazy big. And I spent like 10 minutes riding a train from one place to another, and didn't actually get a chance to see anything because there's so much stuff that the people have built in there. So it's pretty awesome. So
Chris is going to be so excited that we're talking about wieners right now.
All right. So the Apple event yesterday, their big fall product announcement happened. Should you care? This is my sort of thoughts in brief, or 10 minutes or less or so, or maybe more. We'll see. But in summary, quickly-ish as we go. I have a head cold, by the way. That's why my throat or my voice sounds like I'm in a underwater tunnel of some sort. At least it does in my ears. And my nose and sinuses feel all puffy, but I digress. That's fun for me. Awkward intro, kind of funny intro with James Corden doing a carpool karaoke to get Tim Cook to the auditorium, which Apple recently bought, and was reminding folks that they're going to bring to Apple Music, the carpool karaoke, that is. So it's a TV show on Apple Music, and so even Apple can't really keep its media straight. I don't know how that's all going to play out. Mario is coming to iOS, which is big news, and that Nintendo allowing one of their big name characters properties onto a mobile platform is pretty big news. Obviously, they had Pokemon before that earlier this summer, but Mario has always been kind of a holdout in terms of, as far as I'm aware anyways, in terms of like mobile gaming platforms. Obviously, they have their own Nintendo DS platform, but I'm guessing Android will come later. I don't think it was ever said anything about this being an exclusive. It's obviously a early announcement exclusive, but you can. The interesting thing they've done is you can actually sort of sign up to be notified when the app is available. It'll be available later this fall, into winter at some point. It's just like your basic running app where the character keeps running no matter what you do, and you just tap to jump, with obviously Nintendo's sort of flair and color and style and Mario that you're running with. So it looks fun. I pre-ordered it or whatever. They haven't released pricing. They say there won't be any, like, you just pay once, but the details in the App Store do say like in-app purchases available. So we'll see what that actually amounts to. iWork, the Pages, Numbers, Keynote apps are getting some sort of update. The biggest thing they announced was a collaboration update that kind of smells like what Google Docs have been cooking for about 4 years, yet presented in kind of the breathless Apple fashion, like it's the first time you've ever seen people collaborating on a presentation or a document over the internet, and Apple's nailed it, of course. So we'll see. I mean, obviously, it would be handy to do, have your phone. I'm guessing, though, most people aren't like really stressed about collaborating. The folks who are collaborating on documents are using Google Docs already and don't need something that looks amazing. They just want something functional. But we'll see. We'll see. No word on availability, but I imagine it'll be when iOS and macOS updates come out at the end of September here, for free to everybody. So, new Apple Watch. I don't wear a watch. I'm not sure. I'm sure people who do will appreciate that it's now water resistant. So they can swim with it, I guess. But the Apple Watch just does not interest me at all. So, sorry. iPhone 7 and 7 Plus were announced as expected. Apple had the courage to get rid of the headphone port. They've received a bit of well-deserved ribbing and mockery over the breathless courage that they've expressed in getting rid of the 100-plus-year-old port. But they're including a Lightning to audio jack adapter in the box, which is somewhat unexpected. Often Apple charges $30 for a little dongle thing to move people forward, and luckily they're including that. Wireless is definitely the way forward, I think, but I can see a lot of folks, average folks, seeing this as a reason not to upgrade to the iPhone 7, to be honest. If I could afford it, I'd probably pick up a 7 Plus for the new dual camera system, but most of the reasons I use my phone are for photos and videos, other than playing Clash Royale, of course. But I'm really happy they got rid of the 16 gig model, and it's starting at 32 gigs in terms of base storage. That combined with pushing people to iCloud photo storage and streaming music will hopefully end the sort of storage issues for a lot of people in, I guess, 2 to 3 years when that becomes the standard. Because the 6 and the 6 Plus, or 6 and the 6S, are still going to be sold now for 2 to 3 years, respectively. So we're still going to see a lot of 16 gig phones getting bought over the next while. My father-in-law just bought another, upgraded to a 6 or 6S, I can't remember, 16 gig model. People are still seeing that as viable, and most, some folks can get away with it. But I see more and more folks who are always fighting with storage, deleting stuff. And in an effort to save the $100, they end up spending at least $100 of their time, I think, over that 2-year period, fiddling with storage issues. So my advice is to always go with 32 gig or higher if you can, on whatever iPhone you're doing. Android, I would guess, would be similar, but your mileage may vary. Google Photos does a good job of managing photos as well, so maybe you don't need as much there. AirPods are Apple's cordless Bluetooth-based headphones that they announced. They are sold separately. They don't come with the iPhone. $150 in the US, I think $220 Canadian, so quite pricey in terms of just like a extra feature, although Apple's been selling the Beats headphones separately, obviously, for a while now, and to what seems like much success there. So it's yet another thing you have to charge via Lightning cable, and will likely lose even easier than the existing headphones already. I'm guessing they'll need some sort of ability to trigger a ding from your iPhone to find them, because they're tiny. They just fit in your ear. With a little sort of thing hanging down so that it works as a microphone as well. And with the one size fits all idea of headphones that they do, it seems odd to me that it's going to work at scale, but people will try them, I'm sure, and with the money to try them, and I'm sure they'll be well done. The idea that you pull it out of your ear and instantly it pauses the music is kind of slick, and put them back in, the music starts up again. So if you're being annoyed by some idiot on the bus or whatever who wants to talk to you, you can pull your earphone out, tell them to get lost, put it back in, and your music keeps playing. So, but clearly nobody at Apple has kids, because these things would disappear so fast in our house, and I would never see them. It would be I might as well just burn $220 cash in the backyard if I was thinking about buying these, really, because they just would be gone. It's just not even a question. So no Mac updates, no mention of Mac OS at all, I don't think. And so presumably there'll be some sort of event before, or maybe just a web announcement before Mac OS Sierra is released, but maybe even not that. There's rumors of MacBook Pro updates and things, but possibly waiting until October for that. So they don't really seem to be too concerned with the whole back to school push that they used to be as far as getting updates out the door before that. Yeah. So technically I'm due for an update on my phone, but I think my iPhone 6 is still going fine. So I don't really see...
Chris is going to be so excited that we're talking about the news right now.
I don't really see a reason to update my phone, and I'm guessing a lot of folks are in the similar boat. The 6 was really good. The 6S, even a bit faster. The folks who bought the SE, iPhone SE, like that size, and so aren't going to be tempted to the 7. So I have no doubt they're going to sell a ton of the 7s and the 7 Pluses. But unless, like, if I was a rich Mac nerd, I definitely would upgrade each year just because. But until that day happens, I'm fine to be on this sort of 2 to 3 year cycle of updates. Even though I know it's going to be hard hearing about just whatever little features and things that the 7 has that I'm missing out on. But speed-wise, that's the main thing that always bugged me with when I had my iPhone 4 forever, and why I was so desperate to upgrade to the 6 is mainly just the speed. The camera was good, but not great, and the 6 camera is really good, and I'm sure the 7 is slightly better. But yeah, it's a I'd be hard pressed to sort of justify a couple $100 right now on a phone upgrade. So that's just me. No judgment on you if you do it every year or whenever you do it. That's what's good for you is good for you. But will you be upgrading? I don't know. Let me know. Tweet me. iChris on Twitter. You can follow Good Stuff FM on Twitter. We have lots of interesting shows. Morning Show is back streaming live a couple days a week, so posting episodes a couple days a week. And the U2 Show podcast is recording every couple weeks. We're doing actually an album-by-album series, so if you've never listened to U2 at all, it's kind of an interesting time. If you go back to goodstuff.fm/ATU2/34 is where we started this series with their first album, Boy, and are working our way through discussing each album song by song. And so if you've never been into early U2, it's kind of a good way to get why some folks love some of the earlier stuff. I'm more of a mid-90s and onward Achtung Baby U2 fan, and so I'm learning lots about early U2 that I wasn't aware of, and having fun doing it. So what else? That's it for now, I think. I'll end it there. Thanks for support from FeedPress. Visit them, feedpress.com/dailyish, and also patreon.com/iChris. And I made it through this without coughing or snotting all over the phone. So congratulations to the video viewers. You didn't have to see any phlegm. Bye.